talk about bottoms. No, I don't want to talk about your guinea pig's bottom or even your bottom. We'll talk about the bottom of CNC cages and the situations in which you might want to consider adding one to your cage. Now this is a stereotypical CNC cage. If you go online and search for how to build a cage, undoubtedly this is what you'll come up with. And essentially it's just a fence surrounding a plastic box. And it's great in many respects. When this was first invented, pigs should have a holiday for that, because it gave them a lot more room than those pet store cages. Very inexpensive. One of the things that helps make it more inexpensive is there is no bottom in it. It's just essentially a fence. So it's like free range for pigs. They can just kind of graze surrounded by a fence, so they're contained. And when you go online and look at pictures of cages that people have built, essentially they'll be this design. Maybe much larger. It'll be on the floor of either the kids' room or a spare bedroom. Maybe it'll have the chloroplast bin in it. Maybe it'll just have towels or something else. Great design. 14 inches high. Doesn't need a top. Pigs can't get out of there. This is a very efficient design. Can't say enough about it. But not every design is suitable for all situations. And here at BlueStoneCommerce, you'll notice that a lot of our cages have bottoms. And I'll show you why, because here's where a lot of people get into trouble. Now here we've placed this particular cage on a table. Not an uncommon situation. And actually a good idea in that you can interact more easily with your pigs, pet them, feed them, clean the litter, etc. A lot more convenient. Problem comes when the pigs run around and maybe vibrate the cage, or someone comes and bumps the cage and potentially an edge slips off the table. So we have a situation here where the front edge is slipped off. Not a disaster, but it's a lot more unstable here. Okay. Or if the side edge slips off. Once again, not a huge disaster. Okay. The problem comes is when two edges slip off. And that's not a hard situation to happen. So if I just kind of push the front edge and that side edge off, now you have a problem. Matter of fact, now you have a disaster. So in terms of the demonstration that we just did, you could either look at it as a best case or a worst case. There were no pigs, there was no bedding in here. Okay, so that means a lot of the weight was missing, so when I slid this off the edge of the table, had there been the extra weight of the pigs and the bedding, it would have been harder to pull that bin off the table, so it would have been more stable. But also, the fact that if there had been pigs and bedding in there, and I did manage to pull it off the table, you would have an even bigger disaster. Now here at BlueStoneCommerce, we build most of our cages with bottoms for this exact reason, so that you'll be able to use this not only on the floor, but also on a table. Here's a model with a bottom in it. If I slide it forward like I did the other one, of course there's no problem. Sideways, once again, no problem. But if I move this one diagonally, there, it's off the edge of the table. I can keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it. And actually I can move it quite a ways, move it forward a little bit, and it's still pretty stable. Now I wouldn't recommend this. I recommend that you size your table correctly so it fits on it correctly. I wouldn't recommend hanging it off the edge. But I'm just saying, compared with the other design that doesn't have a bottom, you only had to get it a fraction of an inch off the edge on either side and it would fall down. This gives you a much greater margin of safety. I can get it, it's probably a foot off the table in either direction. And this is a function of weight distribution. All it takes is a pig to run from one end to that end, and possibly the thing's going to fall down. So I'm not saying, once again, that it's stable in this position. I'm just saying, in case of accidents or something like this, this is a lot more stable. It has to give you a greater margin of safety and stability, which is really important when we're talking about our guinea pigs.